What's up, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders. Beating the market one trade at a time. Welcome to the stream. Uh, Hope everybody had a good day of trading out there. Hope everything went well. Hope everybody was able to lock in some profits. I know I was. So, without further ado, let's jump into this report for today. Gonna go over some stocks that had earnings, and gonna go over some other ones that just had my eye on. Were kind of catchy in the news that I'm gonna put on my watch list to see how they behave for the weeks coming up. So, if you're not familiar, on my community tab, I have a watch list for the week for earnings week where basically you can go on there and just look and see uh, my picks for the week. Don't have any for tomorrow, but I had some for today. So Friday, basically take a day off, and do the weekly penny picks and weekly option picks. But if you go to the community tab, you can see that. If you want to join Robinhood or you want to join Webull, I have a link for those down below in the description. So check that out. I'll be giving this perspective from Webull. So let's jump into it. All right. So on the first one for earnings, doing the earnings recap, we got ticker sign WIX for Wix. So on Wix, let's jump into this stock. So moving average 10 is $298.10. Moving average 50 is $300.99. Moving average 100 is $291.37. It ended the day at $307.98. And then after hours, it went up some more, went up $6 to where it ended at $314 even. So pretty high up after that. So, been on a pretty good uptrend after earnings. I would say it's starting to begin a bullish pattern. And I would only denote that by the fact that right here is where it crosses the moving average 10 line. The moving average 100 line. So the moving average 10 line crosses the moving average 100 line, and then is approaching the moving average 50 line. So for me, the way I determine if something's bullish is if the moving average 10 line crosses the moving average 50 and the moving average 100 line, both together, then I would say that's bullish. We can also see it's bullish by the fact that it ended the day at 307.98, and then also after hours it went up $6 more to 314. So going into um, some background information on them, just going to do a quick review of this report. Um, it says Wix reports outstanding report for the second quarter 2020. Momentum across the platform led to a record-breaking quarter. Added revenue 9.3 million registered users in quarter two, an increase of 64% year over year. Revenue of 236.1 million, up 27% year over year, 28% year over year, and a year over year constant currency basis. Collections of 265.9 million, up 300 and up 33%, 35% year over year on a constant currency basis. Creative subscribers or creative subscriptions ARR increased 22% year over year to 790.9 million as of quarter two. Net subscriptions additions of 346,000 in quarter two, bringing the total premium subscriptions to over 5 million. Total net additions in 1H 2020 nearly as much as of 2019. July 2020 results show strong growth continuing in quarter three, responding swiftly to opportunity with increasing market investment as a need for online creation and commerce rapidly grows. So basically, if you're not familiar with what Wix is, it's a website where you can make your own website. And I know a lot of people, especially during the pandemic, probably starting their business online, moving towards the online alternative instead of having a physical store, so they can lock in those profits of people being online and people being shut in during quarantine. So definitely see them going up, and they definitely capitalized on the opportunity. And you can see by their metrics that they definitely were able to grow from that. Now going to the next one, we got ticker sign FLIR, R for FLIR Systems. Moving average 10 is 37.94. Moving average 50 is 41.34, and the moving average 100 is 41.34. So if we look, scroll over some more, we can see they fell off quite significantly after their earnings. So if we see on here that the moving average 10 is 37.94, moving average 50 is 41.34, and moving average 100 is 41.34 as well. So if we see the end of the day at 37.46, but towards the end of the day, they kind of ran up a little bit and went up 24 cents to 37.70. But overall, from where they were at, they fell pretty far, showing this large drop off. So going into their earnings for today, we can see the second quarter earnings that came out. Revenue of 482 million, 0% year over year revenue growth. Adjusted operating income 126 million, 31.7% year over year, and then adjusted diluted EPS 0.64, 23.1% year over year. Bookings $546 million, a 19% year over year increase. Current backlog 731 million, 9% year over year. Total backlog 913 million, 13% year over year. Gross profit 262 million, 6% year over year increase. Adjusted operating margins 26.2%, or plus 629 BPS year over year. So to me, the thing that made this stock go down so significantly are these two metrics right here, which is current backlog and total backlog. So they make, I think they may have some of their devices on here. They make a lot of infrared devices. So if you've seen, all of those handheld thermal cameras that people have doing testing. They basically make an advanced version of that. They do have some things for military operations. We see on here their FLIR C5. They have the Raymarine Axiom and Lighthouse charts. So they have a lot of stuff on here. This sort of looks like the camera that I was talking about. On the right hand side, basically the temperature camera that a lot of people are using. But I think because they were not predicting the pandemic situation and not ramping up production, I guess fast enough. This total backlog number to me, definitely shows not weakness, but shows that they were able to get those orders out and it didn't reflect in the revenue. Now, if they were able to produce all these different orders that they have on their backlog, then their revenue would have increased. I definitely would have seen a larger number than 0% year over year increase. So for a company to be stagnant, year over year, is kind of frowned upon in the financial community. But once these backlog orders start going in, I definitely expect to see their year over year number increase. And definitely one of the companies that could benefit from the whole pandemic situation based on the products that they make. Going into the next one, we got Uber. Uber everywhere. Back out a little bit on this one. All right, so moving average 10 for Uber, ticker sign UBER. Moving average 10 for them is $34.42. Moving average 50 is $34.42 for moving average 10. Moving average 50 is $32.76. And the moving average 100 is $31.63. So they ended the day at $34.71. So above their moving average 10, moving average 50, and moving average 100 metric. So that is a good sign. Very bullish uptrend that we see here when they jumped up. Going on here for this gap that they have right here. Definitely is a large gap between the moving average 10 line and the moving average 100 line and 50 line. So that's good to see. But going down here, if we see after hours, they actually went down 95 cents to 33.76. So starting to begin a sell off towards the end of the day. But on the left hand side, it looks like it was pretty green. So maybe the sell off wasn't that bad as it may look. So jumping into some background information on them for Uber, going into their earnings report. We could see revenue of 2.2 billion declining 29% year over year, or 27% on constant currency basis. Uh, Mobility adjusted EBITDA of 50 million. Uber Technologies today announced financial results of the quarter ended. Financial highlights of the second quarter. Gross booking declined to 10.2 billion, down 35% year over year, or 32% on constant currency basis. Mobility gross booking declined 73%, and delivery gross booking growing 113% year over year, each on a constant currency basis. Revenue declined 29%. Revenue decline, and the mobility revenue declined 67%, and delivery revenue grew 103%. Uh, so, not too bad in metrics as far as that's concerned on their delivery side. But as for people riding and getting rides, definitely declined quite a bit. Shows that people basically aren't getting that many rides anymore. Also, you can see on here that, you know, the uncertainty of people, getting back out to do what they did before the whole pandemic started. So, that's something to consider when looking at the stock, and definitely can affect their company overall. Now, if they're able to expound their delivery revenue even more, I know that's kind of a long, tall order to say, but that's definitely, their large money maker at the time, or to incorporate more rides for their, booking and their mobility service. Then I think it's going to help them tremendously in the long run. So, looking forward on ways they can see to increase those metrics for mobility and gross booking, and ways that they can also expand on delivery gross bookings to make the company stand out even more. All right, now going into another one, we got TMUS. That's for T-Mobile. If you're familiar with T-Mobile, they just had a merger with Sprint, so now all Sprint locations are T-Mobile locations. And if you had a Sprint plan, now it is T-Mobile. So going on their chart, we can see that their moving average 10 is $107.74. Moving average 50 is $107.74. Moving average 100 is $106.71. And they ended the day at $108.10. So above all three of their metrics, moving average 10, 50, and 100. So that's good on that one. At the end of the day, we can see that they actually went up some more. They went up $5.90. So they ended the day after hours at $114 even. So pretty good metric for them. Ending the day really green. If we go into their earnings, we can see on here that their cash and cash equivalents was 11,076 compared to 1,528 from previously. Accounts receivable, net of allowances and credit. Let's see if I can increase this. There we go. Accounts receivable net of allowance of credit loss of 183 and 61. Equipment installation plan receivables net allowance credit loss, an imputed discount of $415 and $333. Account receivable from affiliates 24. Inventory 1,549. Prepaid expenses increased to 627 from 333. Assets held for sale, I would assume increase because it's not on here. Property and equipment net was 38,801 compared to the 21,984 from prior. So pretty good metrics as far as that is concerned. Still waiting to see how this merger is going to impact, the company as a whole. And looking forward to more metrics from them. All right, so going into another stock that I got my eyes on, we got ticker sign LVGO uh, for Livongo Health. So the moving average 10 for them is $134.04. Moving average 50 is $136.47. Moving average 100 is $129 even, and they ended the day at $134.35. So they actually went up some more. They went up $1.25 after hours to $135.60. So pretty good metric on there. But let's go into some background information and see what may be causing this company to go up. So going into some background information on them, they had their earnings recently. We can see their second quarter total revenue of 91.9 million, up 125% year over year. So that's a pretty large metric. For a company to go up 125% year over year, that's pretty impressive. Over 410,000 enrolled. Uh, Livongo for diabetes members, up 113%. So their membership's up 113%, and their total revenue is up 125%. So pretty good metrics as far as that's concerned. Jumping into another one, we can see their gross margin, GAAP gross margin of 76.6, and non-GAAP gross margin of 77.3. Net loss and non-GAAP net income, net loss of 1.6 million, and GAAP net loss per share attributed to common stock shareholders and diluted basis, non-GAAP net income of 12.5 million, and non-GAAP net income per share attributed to common stocks of 0.11. So adjusted EBITDA 13.3 million in the second quarter of 2020. Livongo for diabetes members, I already said that increased. Livongo clients 1,328 clients as of June 30th, 2020, up 75% year over year. So it seems to be on all metrics that this company is growing. Definitely, this is a fantastic number to see that they're increasing their total revenue 91.9 million to an increase of 125% year over year. It's a fantastic metric. Definitely going to see the stock going up continuously if they can pull off numbers like that. So going into another stock that I got my eyes on is TDOC, ticker sign TDOC for Teladoc Health. Scroll over some more. Moving average 10 on them is 212.66. Moving average 50 is $226.51. Moving average 100 is $225.67. And they ended the day at $212.50. So they kind of got went through a little bearish pattern right here. They went and dropped below their moving average 50 line and moving average 100 line. The moving average 10 line did, which to me denotes that it's on a bearish trend. But they ended the day green overall. They actually went up some more after hours, $2.44. So let's go on some information on them and see what they have going on. So TDOC and what was it? VGO actually are partnering together, merged to create new standard in global health delivery, access, and experience. The only customer centered virtual care platform for a full spectrum of health needs to address accelerating consumer and climate demand. On client demand. A combination of highly competitive leaders in virtual care and chronic condition management, uniquely positioned to unlock the full potential of virtual care. So they're definitely, taking advantage of the, remote or virtual check-ins or e-check-ins, where people can go and call in with their symptoms and enroll in different plans, which I think is fantastic that they are actually capitalizing on that and merging together to do so. So, the Livongo just went over previously, but they were very profitable. So, merging with this company to find new ways of healthcare could definitely yield both companies to be very profitable in the future. So, going into one that IPO today, so a very fresh one. We got ticker sign RKT for Rocket Companies Incorporated. Brand new IPO today. Definitely a one to have my eyes on. Start at $17.50. Ended the day at $21.51. Don't really have a moving average 10, a moving average 50, or a moving average 100 because it came out today. But definitely got my eyes on this one. Seem to be all green on the left hand side, which means a lot of people bought this. Went to ended the day at 21.51, but it seems like after hours they rallied up some more to be at $23.20. So let's jump into some background information on them, see what they got going on. So if you're not familiar with the company, Rocket Companies says they jumped as much as 26% in the first day of public trading. Rocket Companies is the parent company of Quicken Loans and Rocket Mortgage. On Wednesday, priced its initial public offering, which is the IPO, at $18 per share, below its previously planned range. Shares of Rocket rose as much as 26% in the stock's first day of public trading. On Thursday, the company raised $1.8 billion in its IPO, less than expected. But, the company, to me, Rocket Mortgage and Quicken Loans, are very popular, companies, and definitely companies I see people using a lot. Definitely something I don't see going away anytime soon because everyone needs loans or everyone uses loans to get houses with interest rates being so low. Definitely seeing this company being more profitable in the future as that's concerned. Homes are like the biggest purchase, but with interest rates being as low as they currently are, I definitely see a boom in the housing market. If not for the long term, at least temporarily, while that is happening. So definitely keep your eyes on ticker sign RKT for Rocket. Going into Etsy, ticker sign ETSY. Moving average 10 on them is $129.88. Moving average 50 is $129.33. And moving average 100 is $120.07. So they ended the day today at $130.66. They actually went up some more after hours to $131.12. So they're above all three of their metrics: moving average 10, moving average 50, and moving average 100, which is a pretty good thing, in my opinion, at least. So all good metrics as far as that's concerned. So going into some background information on them, I think they just had earnings coming up too. I think I got this one up. Nope. All right, so I actually don't have that one up. But their earnings recently came out, so you know, pretty good metric on them. So definitely see them continue to go up after their earnings, and definitely one to keep your eyes on. So we have next ticker sign WDC, and that is for Western Digital. Moving average 10 is 37.36. Moving average 50 is $42.42. Moving average 100 is $42.49. Uh, and yeah, if you're watching, make sure you drop a comment down below. Tell me what stocks I should look at for the future. Or drop one in the chat. Tell me what stocks I should look at, and I can pull them up on here and try to give an analysis of those. Um, but we're going to continue with this list. We got the WDC moving average 10 is $37.36. Yep, just went over that. They ended the day at $37.30. So looked like they fell off quite a bit after earnings, but they kind of rallied towards the end of the day, where they went to $37.39, so up 9 cents after hours. So going to some background information on them from their earnings. I think I have it pulled up. So yep, Western Digital. So this is their fourth quarter earnings, came out yesterday. So we'll look at the continuation from today to yesterday, and it kind of fell off from there. Um, Revenue totaled 16.7 billion. Uh, Non-GAAP EPS of 3.04. Generated income, cash flow of 824 million, of free cash flow of 1.1 billion, total debt repayment of 982 million, returned 595 million in dividend to shareholders. So still paying dividend. Uh, Fourth quarter revenue of 4.3 billion, up 18% from prior year. So year over year, basically, generating operating cash flow of 172 million and free cash flow of 261 million. So they basically make, if you're not familiar with the company, they make hard drives, USB drives, things of that nature, basically data storage, and data center solutions. Uh, so they say on here for their flash, another quarter of record client SSD revenue. Enterprise SSD revenue increased almost 70% sequentially. BICS5 ramp is going very well with impressive yields. For the hard drive sector, says customer interest of our 16 and 18 terabyte drives is very high. Expect a strong ramp in fiscal second quarter of 2021. Demand for our 14 terabyte drives continues to be strong. So they have a lot of things going for them moving forward. If we can see on here, their data center devices and solutions increased 11% quarter over quarter and 32% year over year. So that's a good metric. Revenue for them increased 5% quarter over quarter and 19% year over year. So that's good as well. Revenue for their client solutions increased, decreased, which decreased 16% quarter over quarter and decreased 9% year over year, which is expected, in my opinion, for the client solutions, considering everything that was going on. And if we see their flash revenue and hard drive revenue is kind of stagnant. Flash revenue went up some more, but the hard drive revenue kind of stayed stagnant towards the middle. So overall, interesting metrics for them. Going to another one that I have on my watch list, we got Roku. So Roku on here, we have. Let's scroll over some more. We can see moving average 10 is $152.71. Moving average 50 is $161.75. And the moving average 100 is $157.19. They ended the day at $153.87. After hours, rally. They rallied up 24 cents to $154.24. So they rallied up and added 37 cents to that. So going on here, we can see that they are on a bearish kind of drop off. It seems to be. Looking on here, we can see that by the moving average 10 line crossing the moving average 50 line and the moving average 100 line. So did note that on there. That to me is what determines a bearish trend, is when that moving average 10 line crosses that moving average 50 line and the moving average 100 line in the negative direction. That to me denotes a bullish trend. A bearish trend. So I would say the stock is very bearish, opposed to when it became bullish. You can see the moving average 10 line on here cross the moving average 50 and the moving average 100 line. Then it began its bullish up run. So if we look on here, another metric you can use is the VWAP14. It'll also track to see if a stock has become very bullish or very bearish. On here, if you can see the VWAP 14 line actually goes up some. So as it starts to go up, you could say, oh, it's become bullish. So that's a good metric to track that as well. But also, you can track the moving average 10 line. It works just as well. So going into some background information on Roku, we can see that they had their earnings the other day. So for Q2, total net revenue of 42% year over year. Revenue grew 42% year over year to 356.1 million. Platform revenue increased 46% year over year to 244.8 million. Gross profit was 29% increase year over year to 146.8 million. Roku added 3.2 million incremental active accounts in quarter 2 2020 to reach 43 million. Streaming hours increased by 2.3 billion hours over the last quarter to 14.6 billion. Average revenue per user, ARPU of 24.92 increased. Trailing 12-month basis, up 18% year over year. And Roku channel reached U.S. households, an estimate 43 million people. So 43 million people got Roku, which is a pretty good thing. I think it's an impressive metric for them to have. I continue to see them going up from there. Don't know why it fell off, but I definitely would see it bounce from where it's at. It definitely rallied up close to earnings, but fell off. These don't seem to be, to me, too bad of earnings. So, not understanding why it fell off from there. But, the market is the market, and it acts the way it acts. With that being said, there's a lot of things going on in the news with the whole Democrats and Republicans meeting to have a debate about the stimulus package. And with that being said, what stocks you should look out for when that's going on. One stock I think is good as far as option trading is concerned is definitely gold. Gold is definitely one that you're going to see continue to go up as these debates go on, and is very bullish. Now, you may say, why is gold the one to look at, and why is gold so bullish? Basically, because of the gold standard. Old, people has been in finance forever. If the more money that's being printed off, the more, gold prices increase. Because if you're not familiar with history, the U.S. was started on the gold standard, but a couple of presidents, tried to get away from the gold standard. But as more money increases and inflation increase, historically, then gold prices increase as well. So that's always one thing, when people talk about in the news, inflation going up, you can expect gold prices to go up. It's kind of, hand in hand. So definitely look out for that one. Ticker sign GLD, especially if you're option trading. It's been very bullish, since this whole thing began. Another one to keep your eyes out on that I'd say, concerning, all the talks on Capitol Hill, um, I would say, is SLV, and that is silver. Let's go back to the other chart. SLV, added to the watch list. Yeah, so ticker sign SLV. Yeah, what's up? Uh, yeah, silver is definitely one that's going to go up quite a bit with the whole talks that are going on. And, definitely want to keep your eyes out on, um, and definitely want to look forward to. As far as options trading, it's going to be very bullish. Silver tracks gold, so if gold's going up, then most likely silver's going to go up. So, yeah, with that being said, another one you should keep your eyes out on, which is going to go up, is SPY. And that's SPY. SPY basically tracks the S&P 500. So if you're not familiar with that stock, and if you're not familiar with options trading, I do have an options trading playlist on my channel where I talk about options. You can learn how to trade options, so you can look forward to that too. Um, Going on here, we can see SPY is definitely, very bullish. On this one, I'm kind of holding out. I'm waiting to see what happens when this actually goes and they have the announcement for if they're going to be giving more stimulus out. So, the only way the stimulus can come out is if they print more money. That's just, how it goes, which will increase inflation. So, that being said, the SPY, I think people look at it and are like, okay, it tracks um, the jobless claims, but in my opinion, it doesn't really track the jobless claims. SPY tracks, what's happening in politics. So if more money is going to be coming out, they know that the average consumer is going to go out and buy more things. So if that's the case and people are out buying more things, then you're going to see the economy itself go up. Earnings are continue to be good. People are gonna be buying stuff on Amazon. People are gonna be buying stuff on, other places like that because they have money to do so. So not everyone out there is gonna be a person who needs to have the stimulus. Some people, just took their stimulus and spent it. So there's a double-edged sword on that. It helped people, but then for other people that didn't need it, it helped the economy. So it's kind of win-win in that situation. But I definitely expect to see SPY continue to go up, especially once they come to some sort of deal, hopefully tomorrow, um, about the whole stimulus and what they're going to designate for that. So going into another one and probably my last one that I'm going to cover that I think is going to go up. We're going to be looking at is UUP. So UUP is invest code DB US dollar. So it basically tracks the US dollar. So if you can see on here, which is also, backing the theory or backing, what I said earlier, is the value of the dollar is basically going down. So the more money that people print, the more that the value of the dollar goes down. And that's definitely denoted by this. UUP is a stock that tracks the US dollar, and it's US dollar bullish, which if we know right now the US dollar is not bullish, it is very bearish. So as inflation increases and as more money is printed, I definitely expect this to go down. So if you guys are out there option trading, definitely keep your eyes out on this one. I know it's one that most people don't have on their radar, or some people have overlooked, but definitely one to look out for, especially in the upcoming days when they have this bill announced. So when they have this bill announced, you got to know inflation's coming. When inflation comes, which basically means more people are going to have, money in their hands, which is going to deflate or value the actual U.S. dollar. So with that being said, hope this helped you all. Hope you all are able to get something out of it. I'll try to go live a little bit more, as time goes on. But drop a comment down below. Make sure you join the chat. I'm trying to actively answer those chats as they come in. So try to join the chat. Drop a comment down below if this video helped you. And I'll see you guys next time.